After 12 long years, I'm finally back in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia's beautiful capital city. It's full of exceptionally friendly locals selling unbelievably delicious local food. So join me as I eat my way through KL. So no trip to KL would be complete without a bowl of Chilli Pan Mee. So we've headed down to the back streets of the Pandan Indah neighbourhood of Kuala Lumpur to check out a 40-year-old institution, Kin Kin. Let's go. Guys, so this place is right up my street, exactly the kind of place that we love to go on this channel. Old school, I'm told it was opened in 1985, so we're going on 40 years. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning and the place is starting to get packed. There's people on their way to work, there's families, the place is filling up fast, so let's sit down and get ordering. Okay, so as I said in the intro, no trip to KL would be complete without a bowl of Chilli Pan Mee. So let me show you exactly what we've got in the bowl. All right, so we've got wheat noodles, thick, round wheat noodles. They do look handmade, they look handmade. They've just been boiled off and then they've been mixed with a little sauce. We're calling it Malaysian Bolognese. So this is pork mince, dried shrimp, anchovies, light soy sauce, dark soy sauce, and oyster sauce, I believe, and a touch of sugar. We've also got a poached egg. We've cracked that. That's coated up on noodles. I'm sure giving us a little bit of extra richness. I can see these little crispy, crunchy, dried anchovies, salted dried anchovies, which I love so much. They use the anchovies here like we use the dried shrimp in Thailand, just to give you that little sort of extra hit of salt and umami. In Thailand, they're always, nearly always, sweet anchovies, and I'm not into them at all, but these I can get on with. Right, that's all mixed up, and then on top, we've got this crispy, crunchy chili oil. So we've got dried chilies. I'm not sure what else is in here. I will taste a little bit. So I'm going to throw a little bit of this onto my noodles.
So this one you've got to be a bit careful with because this one is kind of like
spicy.
Proper spicy, yeah. So careful as you go. I know you like your spices, but careful.
No chili for you, Fabio. No. Yeah. Yes. That isn't just like, it's just pure savoury. It's like a savoury explosion. The noodles, the texture of the noodles are delicious. Very al dente, as my Italian friend would say. To the bite.
Al dente.
Really nice texture, really comforting. You've got all that chili oil coating the noodles. You got the saltiness coming through from the anchovies, and I believe there's dried shrimp in there as well. But it's not fishy. Like, I know a few of you at home always tell me you don't like the dried shrimp and stuff, but there's nothing fishy about this. It just is giving you, again, as I said, that really extra savoury note. Really classic Chinese wheat noodles. Now David told me these are the best in town. So what I think he's done for me, I think he might have ruined this dish for me because I can't see these being better anywhere else from my personal palate. The texture, the flavour, the mouthfeel. I love the runny egg, that runny egg yolk where it's just coated everything out. Rich, comforting, and absolutely delicious. Right, I can't see anyone else actually using this other chili sauce, but I want to try it anyway. Yeah, I'm having that. I'm now starting to get down to the bottom of the bowl, where you got all the little gubbins, all the little crispy bits, all the little nubbins of pork and anchovies, and the remainder of the egg. That's the stuff when you get down to the bottom of the bowl. And you just got all that, all the leftovers, as I said, all that starchy goodness. They're kind of stodgy, but not in a bad way. Like David said, it's just, instead of it really saucy and like covered in sauce, you just got like a little touch of the cooking water from the noodles. So you got the fresh noodles, you got the starch coming off from the flour, and it's kind of like, you know, if you just add a little bit of pasta water in the end if you're cooking at home. This is how I would cook Chinese noodles at home, usually with Chinese greens, but here the Chinese greens are coming on the side in a little soup. Nice little palate cleanser. I really like that. We've got some Chinese greens, like some sort of like bok choy, but also some leaves. I'm not sure what those are, but yeah, it's just a nice little fresh palate cleanser. All right, I've got to give this a mention before I go home, guys. Honey, lemon and lime with jelly. When they asked me if I wanted one, I just said yes to be polite, because I thought I'd absolutely hate this. I thought it was going to be far too sweet. And I'm on my second one already, and I've almost finished this, so I might get one more to go. Okay, so next up I want to show you the Indian influence in Kuala Lumpur. It's headed down to a place called Brickfields, which is the Little India area of Kuala Lumpur, and we're heading to a place called MTR, a long-standing dosa institution. We're going to be getting a famous onion masala dosa. Let's go. What do you think? You think we should go onion?
Onion rava dosa.
Yeah?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, yeah, my man. What's your name?
Sujay.
Sujay?
Yes.
He knows, man. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. What else should we try?
Yeah, here is the one more one second. Yeah. Rava idly. You can try this one. This picture is.
Oh, the idly.
Yeah.
Okay.
This semoli.
Try.
So we're going to start off with the onion dosa. Just going to cover with a bit of the ghee. Take a little look inside. Crispy, flaky. We've got red onion, chili, some sort of red powder. Could be chili powder, could be tomato powder. We'll have a little look. Right, and then we're going on to the idli, which is a steamed semolina cake stuffed with cashew nuts, coriander, mustard seeds. Looks like we've got some curry leaves in there. And this apparently, guys, came from a rice shortage after World War II. So they made use of the semolina. All right, and last but not least, we've got these little lentil wada donuts. Oh, I'm gonna break that open. So, super light, fluffy, crispy lentil donuts. And to dip, we've got some coriander chutney and a little dal. Oh, and look what's just come to the table. Right, and then last but not least, we've got this absolute beast, the paper dosa. Again, we've got some curries, we've got some chutneys on the side. Got anything in the middle? Right, that I need a photo. I'm absolutely salivating. So what to go for first. I think I'll start with the vada because it's one of my favourites and it's crispy and hot and light and I don't want it to go soggy in any way, shape or form. So we'll start with that. All right, so I'm gonna have a little dip. I'm gonna have a little dip into my coriander. Very light, very fluffy, extremely crispy on the outside. Not too oily. The coriander chutney is delicious, but nice and fresh. But the real star is the little curry accompaniment. The main flavour I'm getting hit with is curry leaves, but also you got some nice little bit of black mustard seeds and coriander, a little bit of cumin. Tomato based, a little bit of dried red chilli, ginger, garlic paste. That is special. I know a lot of my followers are avid meat eaters, but when you come to South Indian food, you kind of forget there is no meat. All right, so I'm going to say the main thing I like about the donuts is just that it reminds me of being a kid. Because I'd run into one of my little Indian sweet shops and we get some samosas, some vada, and a few other bits and pieces just to eat. So that's great, but I am going to start to make my way through the other dishes. All right, steamed semolina cake. And this one, I believe, is a little potato curry and the same coriander chutney. Now, very simple, but absolutely full of flavour. There, that's delicious. That's got a real sweet onion flavour. Let's try the steamed cake. Now this one's all about textures. No good for anyone that doesn't like coriander or cilantro, because this one is absolutely packed. Then you add the coriander chutney as well. But again, black mustard seeds, plenty of coriander. Again, strong flavour of the curry leaves. Fluffy, light, airy, almost pillow-like consistency on the cakes. I actually prefer this curry. I prefer the potato and onion curry so far on the side dishes. That is absolutely delightful. Semi-sweet from the onions, not like an added kind of sugar sweet, just sweet from the stewed onions. It's almost sort of reminiscent of like a winter stew. Very warm and very hearty. That is absolutely fantastic. All right, so David's going to rip this dosa for us. We want to have a look at the inside, do we?
We do. It's that. That's it.
So onions, I'm guessing that's red chilli, is it? Red chilli, green chilli, bit of coriander again, and this red dust, which could be, I'm not sure what it is, but we'll find out in a sec. And if I don't like this, I don't know, we're not talking again, I don't think.
This is the ghee. So all our dosa is not from oil, it's from ghee, pure ghee.
Yeah.
So the rest of the restaurant will be using oil. We are using ghee, pure ghee, and this is chutney puri. So what we'll do, we'll pour on top of any of the dosa or idly. The chutney puri goes well with this.
All right.
And you can just mix.
So this is the masala puri. Okay, right, with ghee, right? And what makes this guy so special, right, is that all of their dosa they're making with ghee. They don't use oil. So everywhere else they said they're using oil to try and cut costs, but we're getting that rich, crispy, buttery goodness from the ghee. Yeah, try that now. Now it's got rid of that harsh, like, now it's got rid of the harsh, like chalkiness. Thumbs up from the chef? Yeah. All right, so what we're gonna do, I wasn't gonna put anything on this, guys. I'm gonna get a bit of that flaky dosa. We have that, we know what that is now. The red powder is the Masala Puri. And then I'm actually gonna dip. The first thing you'll notice with that is the fact that it's cooked in ghee. So it's got like a little bit more richness, it's crispy, yeah, it's buttery for want of another word, but it's got a little bit more depth. Strong onion flavour. They're red onions and they're slightly caramelised, so it's got a real nice natural sweetness. It's spicy in a spice sense and a heat sense. There's a little bit of chilli in there too. That's a top, that's top. That's a top dish. You can take me out again. Yeah. All right, so now I'm gonna get just one of the plain newspaper dosa. And I probably should have eaten this first because I know this one's looking a lot more plain than the other one. And I'm gonna dip this one into my lentils first. And like they're giving you specific chutneys to go with each ones, but he just came over and said you can pretty much eat them with any of them because they're all just so good. All right, so this little number I've just dipped into, oh, that is. Although David's right, David just said it's a lot plainer. When you've tried the onion dosa, because it's got such a depth of flavour, this one could be a little bit plain, but it's just a vehicle to carry your chutneys basically, but still really crispy. You've got that slight sourness because this being a restaurant dosa, they've fermented the batter, I believe. So you've got a slight sourness there. Crispy, light. So it's kind of, yeah, salty, sweet, and just goes perfectly with that creamy onion gravy, which I actually thought, by the colour and the consistency and the slight sweetness, had coconut milk in there, but it's not. He said it's, that comes from the sweet onion gravy. So they've obviously stewed down onions with a little bit of ginger, a little bit of garlic, I'd imagine, stewed them down for ages, blitzed them, and that's what's giving you that, with the turmeric, that sweet, thick, yellow sauce. But again, top notch. You know I'm not much of a sweet man, but we are going to try the kasari bat. And a thick sweet porridge made of dry roasted semolina, ghee, cashew nuts, raisins, and garnished with saffron. So it looks very sweet. I'm sure it is very sweet. It looks like it's been actually soaked in sugar, but we'll have a go. It's very sweet. It's very sweet. It's supposed to be very sweet. Again, texturally, it's very nice. It's like a little pudding. It's like a little, well, it is a semolina pudding. It's got a lot of sugar in them. Some extra sugar from those raisins or the sultanas. The main flavour I'm getting, this is why this reminds me so much of Indian sweets, is cardamom. Very heavy on the cardamom. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, this one has turned out probably to be my favourite. This little tomato and dal chutney here. Mustard seeds again, coriander, cumin. Yeah, the tomato one is probably my favourite, but they're all absolutely delicious. The thing when you come to this South Indian cuisine is, it's amazing how everything looks so similar, right? And it's all using pretty similar ingredients, but they manage to give you such a diverse array of foods. Texturally, it's all so different. Absolutely amazing. The idly, the steamed semolina cake, I didn't realize that they at MTR actually invented it in 1943 when there was a rice shortage during World War II. So they can even claim to have invented a dish that has been copied now in Indian restaurants the world over. Highly, highly, guys, recommend you come down here and try this delicious South Indian food for yourself. You can get a little feel for the Indian influence in KL, in this area of Brickfields. You've got all the shops there, like the gold shops, the sari shops, different Indian restaurants. It's just a really, really cool little spot. So we've ticked off Chinese, we've ticked off Indian, and yesterday we went for some classic Malay nasi lemak. So if you missed that, I will stick a link to that video in the description box below, along with directions, opening times, and all that good stuff to everywhere we went today. Thank you very much for David and Fabio for joining me today. Make sure you get down to Fabio's restaurant as well. Amazing Mediterranean cuisine in the centre of KL. I'll stick links to that as well in the description box below. I think that's all now from Kuala Lumpur. I'm absolutely stuffed. So I guess I'll see you back in Bangkok. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.